better life. Let's make it real. This is a better life. From scars to stars, from pain to bulletproof. Teresa, better life. A better life with you. Talking news, pop culture life, love and scandal, heart to heart. No playing small, we rise, we fall, we laugh, we do it all. A better life is one brave call. Teresa, better life. Let's build a better life. Let's build a better life. A better life. Teresa, better life.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Making sure the audio is good. Not sure that my AirPods connected the way they need to. Let's see. I've got to turn off. I've got to make sure. Hold on. Bear with me. I've got to make sure my my AirPods are not connected. Hold on. I have to disconnect from my phone. Welcome to A Better Life with Teresa Bruce. We are flying. We are, let me turn that off. There we go. That'll help. Okay. So we are flying by the seat of our pants because, as you guys know, if you were here at the end of last week, I hadn't planned on coming on today, but I had to actually. Candace is coming back. I don't know if you saw in the description. But she's that's intriguing. The whole investigation into Erika Kirk's intriguing, but what she's found about the witches and the witches of Eastwick, the witches of Kirk. Anyway, and all the news that is bombarding us, I had to come on and be with my people today and cover it. So I just was like, pull up the bootstraps, Teresa. I've been sick, as you all maybe remember or know. I've not been feeling well. I've got some crazy sickness going on, but I had to come be with you. I miss you guys too much when we don't meet here. Lots of crazy news. Austin Tucker Martin, 21 years old, was killed by Secret Service after entering Trump's Florida resort with a shotgun Sunday. Can you believe that? Is that crazy? Are you surprised? Well, okay, we're not surprised by the spinning and the flooding the zone that they're doing with bombarding us with story after story after story that doesn't include Epstein. So, did you guys see that? Say hello. Say hi in the chat, would you please? Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, like, all that. Please periodically during the stream, hit the heart in the chat so that the algorithm knows we're here. I think, probably some of my usual regular friends will be joining us here. And there we go. Letters is here. Cisco is here. Cisco. Shabbat shalom. I have my phone. I didn't throw it in the drawer. But I did have to turn it off because it wanted to keep connecting to my headphones, my earphones here. But anyway, welcome. I'm glad to see you back. I had to be on today, even though I am feeling miserable. I'm like, I have to be with you. I I miss you too much when we're not here together. And Candace is coming back. Has she announced when she's coming on yet? I haven't looked because I was throwing this together. We're flying by the seat of our pants today, as I said. We are just going for it. Okay, who saw the headline about Austin Tucker Martin going into Mar-a-Lago with a gun and he's shot dead? Did any of you see that news report? And in one of the pictures in the news report, he has a brother that's in the military. Who knows what? I haven't dug into Austin Tucker. Literally yesterday, I stayed on my couch just moaning and groaning about not feeling so well. And my dog was sick too. One of my dogs, he was sick over the weekend. Let's see what you say. Letters. Rupert Lowe started Restore Britain and Anglosphere is healing. Still late for my country though. So not letters. You're coming out of left field with that. I don't know what that means. You have to like break things down and explain them. So you heard something about that, Cisco. Haven't been keeping up with anything. Yeah, that was my weekend. It was like a little bit, it was spotty through the weekend for me. But so I yes. The story is Austin Tucker Martin, 21 years old. Let me share my screen with you. Let me do that and we'll read it together. What are we doing here? StreamYard's not cooperating with me here. What you doing, StreamYard? Let me know if you can still hear me because my, it looks like something froze. And my screen froze. Do you guys still hear me? Tell me in the comments. Things are frozen for me. It's all fine. Okay, so my monitor is being weird and it's not letting me do anything. And I don't want to refresh because I'm afraid of losing you guys, but it's not letting me share my screen. Let me go. Okay. And it's gone a little bit dark for me. Thank you, JK. Hi, JK. Hi. I think we followed each other on X, if I remember correctly. We're gonna, guys, I'm gonna have to, I'm not sure what to do. This hasn't happened before midstream. This isn't letting me share. This isn't letting me share my screen, and it's kind of locked me out. All right, JK. And StreamYard isn't letting me do anything. Hold on. Let me do something. So, not sure what to do, guys. It's not letting me share my screen. I'm going to like, okay, bear with me, stay tuned, because I think I'm going to have to refresh and that might kick us out of the whole thing. And I'm not sure what will happen. Hi, Maggie. Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to have to restart because we don't want to miss Candace. And we have so much to go over together. Okay, so I'm going to just, let's see. Oh no, I'm so scared. Okay, are we here now? This really sucks. I hate this. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. I refreshed. Okay, so I refreshed and I'm like so scared. Tell me if you still see me and everything. Okay, I think you guys can. I have it on another monitor here and it looks like you guys can. Whoa! It's warm in here. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So I wanted to share my screen. Hopefully it'll let me do it this time. Let's share screen. You guys let me know when my phone is off. We'll be back. Wait, what? Hold on. I just got a message on X from Candace. Let's go. I'll share screen. Let me go on, let me share x.com. Oh, she might have gotten some good stuff because she was going to go here today, Candace. Okay. Let's share my screen. Don't let me down. Okay, here we go. Add to stage. Let's see what this says. Let's see what Candace is saying. We'll be back on Wednesday. Let's see.
After being shot at Utah Valley University.
Okay,
Legendary
hold
Charlie
on.
Kirk.
Guys, sorry about this. The sound, is not great. So I'm going to... Gosh, I'm failing you guys. Sound. Yep, too loud. Too quiet, I mean. Okay, so here we go. This will be better, guys. Now let's go back.
President Trump says that Kirk has died after he was shot from a nearby building.
After being shot at Utah Valley University.
The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead.
The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Ooh,
I didn't even get to give him a kiss goodbye.
gives me chills, you guys.
That young man, I forgive him.
Take your time.
Erika Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century. Merch, hats.
We have 50,000 plus
I have
hat
chills.
orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out.
Everyone grieves differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that.
Zionists, the
We're
Prime
gonna read
Minister
into
of
it.
Israel, all lied through their teeth about Charlie Kirk.
Her operation was in Constanta, the epicenter of Romania's trafficking scandal.
We heard conversations to have with a 15-year-old. I'm going to touch your butt.
$8.6 million to their own shell company. What is going on?
We have nothing to hide. My aunt used to tell me, never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
Oh my gosh. Do you guys have chills? I have chills. Okay, so we're going to go back. Oh, wait. Oh. I'm such a newbie. And it shows, okay, we'll be back on Wednesday, she says. We'll be back on Wednesday. Gosh. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think? What? Can we watch that again? You guys want to watch that again? So acted. Yeah. Yes. Chills. I always thought Erika was a bit cringe. I thought it was just because she wasn't used to the limelight. Hi, Loretta. I think we followed each other on Facebook, maybe. I'm trying to remember all of your names. Holy cow. Let's play it again. I'm shaking. Okay, let's play it again. Let's do it. Okay, let me go. Oh my gosh,
Her husband
you guys.
tragically was murdered in.
Shoot.
President Trump says that Kirk has died after he was shot from a nearby building.
After being shot at Utah Valley University.
The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead.
The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
I didn't even get to give him a kiss goodbye.
That young man, I forgive him.
Take your time.
Erika Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century. Merch, hats.
We have 50,000 plus hat orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out.
Everyone grieves differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that.
Zionists, the Prime Minister of Israel, all lied through their teeth about Charlie Kirk.
Her operation was in Constanta, the epicenter of Romania's trafficking scandal.
Weird conversations to have with a 15-year-old. I'm gonna touch your butt. $8.6 million to their own shell company. What is going on?
We have nothing to hide. My aunt used to tell me, never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
Okay. I could. Whoa. Whoa. That's a really good trailer. Oh my gosh. So she didn't tell us she wasn't coming back till Wednesday. So I'm thinking she's got some more exclusive, explosive stuff. Boom. Boom is right. Okay. So this was going to be later on in my show, in the pre-show. But let's do it now because she just set that. So I'm thinking she got some more explosive stuff. Guys. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say, like, let's go to Trump because this is tied together, which is why part of the reason why I'm like, I have to go on today. I have to meet with my people. First of all, because Candace was going to be on. Well, second of all, because Candace was going to be on. But because of all this stuff that has happened, somebody dies at Mar-a-Lago who goes in with a gun to shoot him. All the stuff they're throwing at us to distract us from Epstein. Okay. Trump's approval rating is in the toilet. What is it? What's it at? Let's see. The poll, let's see. 47% of Americans strongly disapprove of Trump. It's the lowest that it's been in, I think they said, a century. Like, it's low. It's low. Okay. Did you all remember, did you all know that 2 months before Charlie Kirk died, he was pushing for the Epstein files to be released. He was like out there pushing. He was on his show, on the Charlie Kirk show. He was on with Megyn Kelly live at SAS. I don't even know what that is. Like, literally, I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I'm like, because I'm like, I have to be on with you guys. So at a live event, he's talking about this with Megyn Kelly. He's pushing. And then President Trump gives him a call and says, hey, can you not do this? And so then Charlie Kirk backpedals and says, that's all I'm going to talk about it for now. After Trump's call. Now, do you guys remember that Trump had Charlie Kirk call Candace to ask her to stop reporting on the Macrons? Same type of thing. And she said no. However, Charlie Kirk said, okay, I'll lay off for a little bit in a little bit of a way. And then he wants to step back from Israel. And then we know what happens after that. I don't think it's an accident. Let's look at your comments. Oh, that trailer got me going, you guys. I cannot wait till Wednesday. My voice is about to give up on me. Hi, Jets. Boom. Sounds a bit high. Wait, did I miss something? What's salt? I didn't see salt. Did somebody kick salt out? Oh, no. Salt. Wait, no, salt sounds a bit high. I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, letter says, might be a great aunt. Erika has a great aunt named Shar, whom she has described as a patriot and someone who lived with the little to give, with little f's to give. Don't know what patriot means to America anymore. Approval rating is a joke. Okay, so let me share this with you. This is so funny, because he wants to explain why his ratings are at a free for all. So let me go. Okay, gosh, I could watch that trailer after we get off this, or even before we get off of this live. Maybe I'll play Candace's trailer again, because that was just amazing. So I'm going to share this video with you guys. Excuse my voice. It feels like it's about to give out on me. So it is. Okay. So let's look at this. This is Trump's explanation for okay. This just makes me laugh. Okay. Sorry, Trump. Let's see. Can we make it bigger? Let me see if I can.
We all want something. A way out, a way in. We want to lose ourselves.
I think this is as
we
big
want
as I
more
can.
than just an ending. We want stories worth remembering.
Okay.
Tom Holman, Christine Ohm, our people, they've been incredible, the job they've done. And they take nothing but abuse, but, you know, they're sort of pretty hardened to that, I think, because they know they're doing the right thing. It just amazes me that there's not more support out there. It's just, we actually have a silent support. I think it's silent. I think it's.
Wait, he just said we have a silent support, you guys. He just said, okay, hold on. I'm kind of, oh, where's my mouse? Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'm a beginner. Anyway, we have a silent support. You know, if it weren't for the bots and all that supporting TPUSA, they would have no support either. But Trump's support is silent. This totally cracks me up. Let's go. Let's listen to the rest.
Well, that's how I won. I got probably 85 million votes. They say 78 million, 79 million. They cheated in this election, too. It was just too big to rig. Too big to rig.
Wait.
Take a closer
Let's
look.
do it again. We're doing encores. We're doing encores today. We're doing things twice, maybe thrice. Thrice is so old. It just rhymed, so I used
The
thrice.
drama you want on Disney Plus Hulu.
Why would we do this? And they walk in, nobody even asked for, like, do you have an identification? Do you have an ID? It's so crazy. You know, the mayor of New York, and he's a very nice person. I met him, but his ideology is not
Is
too
this
good.
the different? Is this a
But,
different one? Wait.
We're having a massive snowstorm right now. And
Oh
I've
my
heard
God.
that
Trump's
he's asked
crying.
people to come out and help shovel the snow.
Okay, so this
Okay,
isn't the one.
so you get a-
Gosh darn it. Give me back the other one. It's not going to let me rewind. Anyway, okay. He doesn't understand what's going on. And I had those votes past tense, still crying. Oh my goodness. Why can't I have to play this again. I'm going to refresh my screen over here, guys, because we really have to see it again, right? Well, maybe my computer won't. Oh, dang. It's not letting me. What is my technology doing?
Get a shovel and you start shoveling,
Okay,
right?
whatever. It's not happening. Anyways, he doesn't understand. Okay, let's go back to what Charlie Kirk was saying. In Charlie Kirk's messaging in July, a month before he died, he was telling Trump, if you do not follow through on releasing the Epstein files, your base is going to leave you. So now they want to blame Candace. Now they want to blame everything else. And I'm putting together a compilation of all these things, you guys. Hopefully I'll have it done for you by tomorrow. But yeah, he was warning Trump, and then Trump called him and asked him to stop, and so he backpedaled a bit, and then Charlie Kirk's base was like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And so then Charlie Kirk backpedaled a little bit for his base, and it's a mess. There's so much more that Megyn Kelly was saying about Pam Bondi. I was going through all kinds of videos today from back in July, doing research and looking all this up for you guys. Let's see. Did he just say help? Yes, he did. He's trying to act like a good Samaritan neighbor. All Candace's fault for caring about the kids and the truth. Yes. So last night, so I'm doing all this. You guys, have you heard of the confessionals? It's on YouTube, the confessionals. So he has all kinds of stuff. But anyways, they have some people talking about the Epstein files and some victims on there that I've reached out to. And as you know, I am in the works of getting us some great guests here on the live with us. So we'll see how all that pans out. But anyways, the confessionals has some great stuff that I really enjoyed over the weekend. And I went and watched Foxcatcher. You guys had told me about that last week after George Tonk's audio interview came out. If you guys missed that, I've got it, the last 2 episodes on the live. We went over George Tonks. He's a witness, and there's controversy around him. Of course, there was over Virginia Giuffre, who we know now was telling the truth, and that's been corroborated. But back in the day when George first came out, he went through all this stuff. Let me see what your comments say. Loretta. Defending the indefensible is a heavy burden. He's not even riffing with the same energy. Yeah. If one woman can tear down your position in politics, you can't be a very good politician. Even Bill Clinton survived a woman talking. That's funny. Yes. And you're right. So anyways, check out the confessionals. I'll be going over that too. I've got some incredible stuff I've listened to and have really liked. The Foxcatcher, I went back. I remember watching that back in the day when it came out. But with the, in the midst of all the investigations and Les Wexner stuff coming out and all that, you watch it with a different lens. And I would have really loved to get Mark Schultz. I would really love to do an interview with Mark Schultz. So I'm trying to figure out how to get a hold of him, because not necessarily about that, but to talk about how all this came about with DuPont and Les Wexner, because they're involved. Who watched last week's streams with George Tonk's interview, or who went to Substack and looked at him there? It was some good information, but back in the day, people were trying to tear him down, George Tonks, including Jessica Krause, House and Habits. And so here before the stream, I was just digging into the files. Jessica Krause, House and Habit, she's in the Epstein files, and she's friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. They had somebody, a reporter on her live yesterday on Substack, and they were reading a letter from Epstein, from the Epstein files, to his attorney. Or no, it was for a press release. It was like this 2 or 3 page letter of him saying, they framed me. The FBI is framing me because, for all this reason. Anyway, it's a mess. It's all a tangled weave. It's a tangled mess. What is that? It's a tangled weave when we practice to deceive, or what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. You just can't keep it straight. But, we have all this video evidence and we can go back in history and look at all this stuff and prove it's wrong. Yes, that's it. What a tangled web we weave when we deceive. Yeah, Maggie, House and Habit wants to take down Candace Owens, along with another creator, the General, General Colonel, the Colonel. Anyways, yes, they had a whole thing wanting to do a Candace Owens, who's Candace Owens, kind of like how she did with Macron. I haven't kept up with it because I just felt in my own spirit, it was just really disinformation and their own agenda. And now knowing that Jessica Strauss is in the Epstein files, and I think they have invoices there. There's somebody else with the name Strauss, and I'm looking into if they were related or not. I'm sure they are. That was given some money to do some reconstruction or, construction work or something like that. Anyways, it's a holy mess. Holy mess. So back to Austin Tucker Martin. Let's go. Let me share this with you. Share this tab. Okay. Can I enlarge this? Okay. Anyways, new details emerge about armed man shot and killed at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Austin Tucker Martin, 21, was killed by Secret Service after entering Trump's Florida resort with a shotgun on Sunday. So this just happened, and these are the updates. I haven't read them yet. So the 21-year-old man who was shot and killed after having entered Donald Trump's Florida resort on Sunday while carrying a shotgun came from a North Carolina family of the president's supporters and had reportedly become increasingly fixated on the so-called Jeffrey Epstein files. They're saying so-called Jeffrey Epstein files. What? The so-called. That's crazy. Okay. The focus says to me that just reads sarcasm. The 21-year-old man who was shot and killed after having entered Donald Trump's Florida resort on Sunday while carrying a shotgun came from a North Carolina family. Okay, so we did that. The focus on the FBI's investigation into the intrusion attributed to Austin Tucker Martin is tightening on his movements and motives. Martin was confronted by Secret Service agents and a local sheriff's deputy inside the secure perimeter of Mar-a-Lago and killed after he raised the shotgun into the shooting position at about 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, law enforcement said. It will be interesting if we ever get details about his ties to all of this. Tyler Robinson's lover. Martin was a recent high school graduate who is believed to have driven down to Florida from his home in North Carolina on Saturday afternoon, obtaining the weapon en route. The New York Times reported that last year he set up his own company, Fresh Sky Illustrations, trading in original drawings of golf courses that were sold through golf course gift shops and on commission. TMZ reported that Martin had grown increasingly obsessed with Epstein, a former friend of Trump and many other powerful people, after the recent release of files connected to the prosecution of the sex offender and disgraced financier. The website said that it had obtained a text message that he sent to a coworker earlier in February. According to TMZ, the text said, "I don't know if you read up on the Epstein files, but evil is real and unmistakable. Tell other people about what you hear about the Epstein files and what the government is doing about it. Raise awareness." The illustrator came from Cameron, North Carolina, where his relatives described him as quiet and generally opposed to guns. Martin's cousin told the Associated Press that the family was staunchly pro-Trump. Wow. We are big Trump supporters, all of us, Braden Field said. He added, though, that Martin tended not to talk about politics. Fields and Martin would regularly send a portion of his monthly paycheck to charity, and he had difficulty fathoming what authorities say his cousin had done on Sunday. Martin's family appear to have become alarmed by his disappearance over the weekend, so they had reported him missing, posting on Facebook that he was missing. A missing persons report was entered into a national database after the Moore County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina received a report from a relative early on Sunday morning. Trump was not at Mar-a-Lago over the weekend and has so far not commented on the incident. Of course he hasn't. He was the subject of 2 assassination attempts during the 2024 presidential campaign, which I don't believe. This isn't in the article. I don't believe that. I think it was a setup just to shore up his base in the patriotic rah-rah, get behind me sort of thing. But, everybody believes their own thing. Anyway, he was the subject of 2 assassination attempts during the presidential campaign, one of which occurred at the Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, just a few miles from Mar-a-Lago. Ryan Routh, who was spotted in September. Okay, so this just goes back to that. Let's see. The White House press secretary, poor Caroline Leavitt, if she's not in on it, she's just being duped, posted a statement on the latest incident on X on Sunday, alluding to how Martin had a gasoline canister on him as well. She wrote in part, "In the middle of the night, while most Americans were asleep, the United States Secret Service acted quickly and decisively to neutralize a crazy person who intruded President Trump's home." Anyway, so that's the story. So they had posted some pictures of him, and one of his, it looks like possibly a brother, is in the Army. We don't know much more about Austin, and it's really interesting. Let's see. Is he white? Yes, he's white. Recent, bruh, 3 years is not recent. Opposed to guns, but a wannabe sniper. Yeah, Leah Horn. Hi, Leah. Yeah, exactly. So that's happening. Kash Patel went to the hockey game, and he flew on the taxpayer money. Like, let's see what else this says. Let me go back. I gotta read my notes. Kash Patel traveled to the Olympics in Milan on the government-owned Gulfstream. I had pulled that up to see. Okay, yeah. It costs at least $5,000 per hour for the trip to Italy. So people are so mad about that. People are so mad. He was drinking, celebrating, shaking up the beer, letting it fly, all of that stuff. He needs to resign. And you know what? What's so funny in these clips that I'm gonna put a compilation together for you. As I said, it's not done yet. But Megyn Kelly was calling for Pam Bondi to resign, and she's saying there's infighting. So this is back in July when she's at the SAS show with Charlie Kirk, and she's saying there's infighting, and Bongino and Patel may quit, and that is a choice between like they're saying, Bongino is saying, hey, it's either her or me, and then Megyn Kelly predicted that Bongino and or Kash Patel would leave because Bondi. And so we know Bongino left, and of course he's playing nice. They said they had anticipated that if Bongino left, he would squawk about everything. Of course he hasn't. We all probably can guess why that is, and all of that. But yeah. So the other news that has come out is that the Telegraph If you guys haven't seen this report, Telegraph reported that Epstein paid private investigators to remove computers and pictures from his home and paid them to store them in random storage units around the United States. And that there were warrants for these places, but nobody followed through on those warrants as far as they can tell. Nobody did anything about those warrants, and they didn't go to these storage units. And that's no surprise. That's no surprise to me. And I'm sure it's not to you either. But yeah, where was that? I would love to know those storage units. What if somebody got a hold of them and they didn't get paid for a long time, and the storage wars got a hold of them like years later? Is storage wars still going on? I don't watch it. I just know about it, like how they go and they bid on storage units that haven't been paid for, and then they see what's in them. Anyways, letter says yay, an Italian and an Indian in control of the intel agency. Pre-World War Americans would be ashamed at the state of America today. Yeah. Imagine that, Maggie says. Oh, bye, letter. See you later. Catch you next time. Yeah. So the confessionals, as I was telling you guys, maybe since we're not going live with Candace, I should play you a little bit of this stuff. Okay. So we've been talking about the spiritual warfare and the spiritual implications that come with doing child trafficking, and all that stuff. Well, the confessionals, they delve into a bunch of different things, but one of the things that I saw that I really liked, and I'm hoping I can get her on with us, where she's talking about MK Ultra, and she was born into this, and she has been trafficked and MK'd over the years, and she was rescued from trafficking and got free. So I think let's go ahead. I'm going to go find that here. Let me see if I can find that for you. Bear with me as I look. Let me go ahead and I'll just share this with you so you can look with me. So this is the confessional. So he goes through, they look at portals, they look at like the spiritual aspect of things. He's into looking for dogmen and Sasquatch and all that stuff. I don't know how I feel about all of that, but let me see if I can find this for you, because it was really good. Oh, here she is.
A child has to be opened up to that. Like somebody has to have.
Okay. So this is her. What's her name? Hope Brill Green. Okay. So she's talking about having been trafficked from and born into this and all of that at a young age. So let me see if I can. We'll speed it up a little bit. And see what she has to say. I didn't mark this because I had planned on doing that today, which obviously I didn't do. Okay.
To have an open door. So that's why Satan tries to, get children from a very young age to have open doors in the spirit realm so that people can come in and traffic them in the spirit realm. You hear a lot about people and they've been like demonically or something like that.
That's what my mind went,
yeah, my whole goal and what the Holy Spirit has shown me is going into those areas where the child is and do that battle, because the evil people are using that. So they always pervert what is meant for good. Exactly.
So she was trafficked from a young age, from like 5 years old, and she was MK'd ultra'd. She talks about her whole story. Go listen to the full thing. We'll play some more here. But then she says between 18 and 20, then is when she got introduced to Epstein. And let me see.
So that should be our gift.
wrote some stuff down because I had some things I wanted to make sure I hit on. But astral trafficking, that's when I knew. I was like, you and I are going to get along real good. Because I was like, she's speaking my language right now.
I wonder if I can look at
DNA manipulation. Yeah. And so like, these are things that are happening. And, you have experience with, and on the negative side, well, it's all negative, but like you receiving end of some very strong abuse. So what I want to do moving forward here is to open up the platform for you to share your story, and for people to learn who you are and what you've been through. And you mentioned about, the people who helped get you out and save you. Like there's a whole story here that people are going to want to hear. And I would love to have you share that now.
Absolutely. It's pretty much 100% the Lord. Like I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for him, but I was really born into the Illuminati. And a lot of people don't understand, what do you mean born into it? Well, there is a whole army within this country of the Illuminati. And, they tried it with Hitler and all of the things that they did with actually ownership papers signed to Epstein. And
for you?
Yeah, for me.
Wow. From
my traffickers, because he was on there's never a good level, but they say levels. So he was on a different level. So he was starting to traffic me more on a regular basis to like the elite and those that were in Hollywood.
So, all right. So you're saying, so you've met Epstein?
Yeah, I was actually trafficked and raped by Epstein.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, the mainstream media, there's been an agenda to have a specific, I'm trying to say, an appearance of what that looked like to people that they wanted people to know about, which is the massages and the teenage girls and things like that, which is, I'm not discounting. It's hideous. It's horrible. Yeah. But behind the scenes, there was much deeper, darker things going on, very underground things that were going on. And at the age of 5, I was trafficked by him. And there were other small children that were trafficked by him. So he was involved in a lot with governmental figures, with programming, with DNA testing, a lot of it that people aren't aware of.
Yeah, wasn't there something with the ranch that he owned? And I feel like there's something... I'll say this loosely because I don't know how else to say it. There's this conspiracy theory or this idea out there that he was involved with DNA manipulation, and maybe this ranch he was trying to, was it that he was having all these children with his DNA? I don't remember.
So I think he's talking about the New Mexico.
All right, so 5 years old, you were sold to him?
Yeah, I was sold, really given ownership over to him. So they had papers to where he could traffic me out and bring other people in to program me. So, I was still being programmed and trafficked by my main programmers. So the main base they had me was Kentucky to keep that facade going. But I was taken to like Epstein Island. Epstein Island was used for trafficking long before Epstein was even there.
Really?
Yes. And Epstein started what he was doing at a very young age, like at least 20 years old. Yeah.
Did you hear that? Epstein started when he was 20. So he was taken... I'm sure he was groomed and all that, and from a young age. So he would have been, oh my gosh, she's like 23 years. He's 23 years older than me. She looks about my age. So, yeah, he had to have started young.
But he started trafficking at around 20 years old?
I don't know exact date of when he started, but I know he was at least around 20, 21 years old.
Wow. Do you know how he got involved in it?
I think that he was very much involved in the government and military. And I think he chose to get involved in the military side of it because he was Mossad. But then there was also so many different countries that were involved that he was doing trafficking to that would come through, that would look at all of us, the children, and see kind of what products they wanted to purchase as a child, which child they wanted to purchase. So
when did he start operating on Epstein Island, on the island? Was that like in your life, like in your childhood?
It would have been later in my life. Okay. It was probably on like in the I guess physical realm is what people say. It would have been probably I was probably 20, something like that, 18, 20, something like that. But the island was being used before that. So they have a lot of underground tunnels there on the island. And, you know, I've been through a criminal suit, a civil suit against Epstein.
So we need to look at who owned the island before Epstein and why this is important. So I feel like why this is important and tied to Charlie Kirk is because Charlie Kirk was talking about it. He was pushing for it. He was also wanting to, he was withdrawing from his support for Israel and the Zionist agenda. And then he was killed. What are the 3 things that Erika Kirk has done? Okay, they're always saying Charlie Kirk wanted this. Charlie Kirk said that. Charlie Kirk believed this. Charlie Kirk wants all this. At every turn, they're invoking the name of Charlie Kirk. At every turn, commercializing it. It's using it as propaganda. But what are the 3 things Erika Kirk has not done? The 3 most important things to him before he died. Finances, looking into the finances of TPUSA, the Epstein files, and Israel. Those are the 3 things that he cared about most right before he died. And they're the 3 things Erika refuses to talk about and to look into. They won't do it any longer. So, I mean, I think we all know why they eliminated him.
There's just a cover up about the deeper, darker things that were going on.
So you've taken legal action, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it just never went anywhere.
Well, they didn't want it to go anywhere.
Sure.
When I did the criminal suit, of course, we know what happened there. I mean, I don't believe he killed himself, but I don't know specifically. I think there's a lot of, I know there's a lot of high level people that wanted to get him out of.
Okay, and speaking about killing Epstein, offing himself in prison, a new document has been found where somebody is contacting somebody in the Justice Department wanting, and they, in their wording, they say they're investigating in the department, within the government, they're investigating the murder of Epstein. Now, it could be just the language that they chose to use in this email, but there are people, as we all knew and probably guessed, that that believed, even within our government and in investigations, believed that Epstein was murdered.
The picture.
Are you saying that your criminal suit was when he was arrested this last time?
Mm-hmm.
Was that like a joint suit with a lot of the victims?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mine wasn't really ever brought forward because I was at such a young age. They didn't want that. I mean, they literally told me it doesn't go along with
the narrative
that we see. So therefore, we're not going to do anything with it. Same way with civil suit. I really wasn't going to do a civil suit, but the Holy Spirit said, yes, I want you to do this and bring it forward. And they had a compensation fund or plan. I had a lawyer for over 2 years, had all my people that testified for me and said she is, she's not crazy. We verify that she's telling the truth. And the day before my deposition, they dropped me. My lawyer dropped me the day before. So I had to go by myself to give testimony of what he did. And of course, nothing came out of it.
Yeah. So when there's like, I don't know how to say it other than dual ownership of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're a kid and you're supposed to be living this like normal life in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Does he like put a phone call in to pull you out to take you somewhere? And like, how does that look on the surface? I'm assuming the answer is yes, but like, so say you're away at Epstein Island, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the narrative back in Kentucky? Where are you? Like, what are they telling people?
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of times the people involved, there was people involved. So
she's saying, so in this, you go back to, I recommend going back and watching this whole thing. So she's saying this MK Ultra, this whole thing, it's a whole ring, right? Throughout the nation, internationally, but they plant people in churches to dismantle churches, to what do you call it? Shake things up, to the same thing that they do. They want to disrupt us, they want to throw you off your game, and they want to give you all this information. They want to split you apart. They want to make you different factions, so that they were planted in churches. That they also have people like her who have been in this MK Ultra and in these rings since actually being born into them, which we've talked about on previous lives, being born into it. So they have people installed at schools, at universities, at churches for this very purpose. So she's saying the reason nobody questioned what was happening to her, why she'd disappear for, weeks or months on end, is because they had principals, they had doctors, they had nurses within the school system, within the system that she was in, where she lived, that just made it go on without question.
All around you.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if this is the case, but like the school principal is involved. So
Exactly.
he can, I got you.
So they have their bases covered to keep up that narrative. So yeah, I mean, it pretty much looked, instead of like a phone call, I think we talked a little bit about how they communicate in the spiritual realm, where they astral project, and they have like conferences.
Okay, we didn't talk deep about that, so we definitely need to talk about that right now. And I'll probably just get back to the Epstein stuff as progresses, because my mind is going to not let this go. So you're saying that these people, is it all of them or what? That in order to hold secure meetings, they do it in the astral?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in order to really, because phone lines can be tapped, cell phones can be tracked.
Right.
All those
phones
things
are listening all the time.
Exactly. So they have to have a way that's foolproof to communicate. And so they are very much.
So this may bend your mind further than you've thought about things before. But she's talking about that the higher ups, like Epstein, and she's saying what a lot of these other victims are saying is that Epstein was just a middleman, which we all could probably figure. Like the ones behind it, they're going to put people out front to take the fall and to do all the dirty work while they do everything that they want to do. But she's saying these people who are in the satanic cults, who operate on that realm, they go and they astral project and have these meetings like through these like seances and that, where they communicate that way with each other. And then, they carry out other things in the physical realm, like with Epstein. And I know that's a mind bend, but consider it.
More operating in the spiritual realm than the majority of Christians, because they ask the demonic realm to astral project, so they communicate that way, and have like conferences in the spiritual realm of what do we do next? Where are we meeting in the physical realm? So then it can't be tracked in any way. So, I mean, that goes on all the time. It goes on a lower level, and then it goes on a higher level with the Illuminati and all of that as well.
So it's just a natural way of doing things on their end.
Mm-hmm. It's a natural way for them to communicate. I don't know if you've ever seen, I can't even think of the name of the movie now, but I think it was Matthew McConaughey. But it was more of like he was in space and he was communicating with.
So anyway, that is just part of what she has to say. They have some good things. I really enjoyed probably 3 of them. I'll go back. I'll find the ones that I really liked, including this one, and I'll make a post for you guys of those, because it was really interesting. Like 1 or 2 of them I felt like was really I'm like, I don't know about all that. But anyway, there is some good things. And actually they talk about a 3-part documentary about somebody who had who had been dabbling in witchcraft and Ouija and all that stuff, and they got delivered from from all of that spiritual demonic activity, which I 100%, as you guys know from previous live streams that we've talked about, I've seen that myself. I've seen demonic entities behind the abuse that had happened to me and behind incidents that happened to me. And so I do believe that. Although to be talking about it and to sharing it, it is, I understand it is a mind bend, and it's a different way of thinking and considering than what you typically do. But anyways, our churches, as Candace Owens has said on her podcasts, is that, you know, our churches are infiltrated. Every area of our systems, organizations, and being and industry are infiltrated with these people, and it's been long running. So we're at that point now where we're starting to see it, because their organizations have become so large. Now it's impossible to ignore the signs and the things that are coming forward. So hopefully it's not too big to fail now. I know that Trump likes to use that, too big to fail. But I don't know. I think there's still a lot we can do as a society. Let's see what y'all. Maggie, I saw a video some time ago on one of the victims saying she saw Epstein shapeshift. Yes, and they talk about that on their channel about that. I'll share more as you guys get to know me. Like I'm giving you guys information on the things that I've seen and witnessed in my own life and in my own spiritual walk. A little bit at a time, so that you can get to know me first, so I don't come out with all of it. Because it is a mind bend, and it is somewhat unbelievable if you haven't seen it yourself, if you haven't experienced it yourself. But shape shifting and those entities being around is a thing I really truly believe and have seen in my own life and in the lives of other people, which we'll get into as we go on. Yeah, so he talks about how at times they've been even in an area where there felt like there was a lot of spiritual activity, where the people, like normal, like for example, I'm standing there with a group of other people, for example, and I'm looking at somebody and I can see their face like shift into something, not that they're one of those entities, but that those entities are around, and if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, you can perceive it in your spiritual mind, and with your spiritual eyes. Let's see, Cisco. I had read about Russian spies that would get into American companies and government and the KGB. Fine with it taking many years for that person to rise up in the ranks to start providing good intel. Yeah. Yeah. So they're infiltrating. She talks about Baptist church, which is so funny. Not funny, but interesting, because that is where, when I was young, that it happened. The stuff that happened to me began happening at the age of 5 through a Baptist church, and through my stepfather, who my mother met through the Baptist church, and come to find out many years later. So I was put up for adoption when I was very young, through the CPS system. But later, when I talked to my birth mother, she met my stepfather, who had done some of the things I've shared with you already when I was 5 through the Baptist church. And that pastor, who I remember loving, Pastor Mosley was his name. He was a Black pastor, and it was in the Baptist church that this happened. And he it was found out that they were doing things. I can't remember exactly all of it. My birth mother has passed away several years ago, so I can't go back and ask more questions. But she says that he was convicted of sexual crimes as well. So it's everywhere, and we are infiltrated not just by foreign governments and allies, but by these who are also run by these sick and twisted people and beings. So yeah. Anyway, I think my whole thing, the major thing that came to me today that I was so much wanting to get on and share with you about is just putting together the pieces and connecting the dots of where Charlie Kirk was before his assassination, and tying the pieces together with all these victims that are coming forward now, and we're hearing from more than ever because the government and the system has shut them down. They've been shamed, they've been ridiculed, they've been smeared, and that stuff we have to leave, far behind, as I talked about last week. If you go through this, your chances are your background and your history isn't going to be squeaky clean, because it messes with you, it messes you up. You're going to do some things. And if you're upset enough, you're going to consider, doing some things. So, anyways, it's all connected. Him talking about Epstein, him talking about Israel, him talking about the finances of TPUSA, and Erika Kirk ignoring all three of those things. Not a mistake. Anyway, let's see, Loretta, some of the most anti-Catholic Christians seem to be Baptists. They literally preach it. Yeah, there's a lot of that happening in our churches, and it's meant to destabilize. That's the word I was looking for earlier. It's meant to destabilize. All of this is meant to destabilize, which is so important that we're coming together as a society and as a nation, and important to really impact Republican partisan group think, because it's not about that anymore. That is so last year. And we have to put an end to that conversation. We have to put an end to that think, and we can only do that together. Cisco people's backgrounds are very exposed and divided, yes, and not as a political party, because that's just BS. And that's what they do. Funny is that the Republican Party, and I think even Democrats, they're still trying to operate within this different structure, and we've all moved on. And if I'm seeing what else is there we can do, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but the answer isn't to shut up, like they've been trying to tell us, like they were trying to tell Charlie Kirk, shut up. And that was a message. And if you, I know Megyn Kelly is still talking about Epstein. She's not talking a lot about Charlie Kirk or Erika Kirk. But I think that was the message. As I've said in other videos, the message is shut up. We won't shut up. We'll say it louder. We'll keep talking. I've got half a mind to get a megaphone and head out onto the street and talk about this stuff. But I think it's most effective in social media. I think there will be a time for public protests like that. As I said, I'm calling for a nationwide strike. You guys, I feel like on April 15th, we should all not show up to work unless you're in healthcare. Obviously, you want to save lives. But anything else, I had said social media, just because of the revenue that streams from social media, but to cut off, to really show them who's in, to remind them, not show them, to remind them who's in charge and who's the boss. Hold on. Can you guys not hear me? Jeff just said that there's no sound. Can you guys hear me, or is that just ours? Anyways, I think there'll be a time for that, but on April 15th, I want to call a nationwide strike. We don't show up to work. We buy nothing. We shop for nothing. We do no trading. We, it'd be kind of social media. I would want to say a blackout on social media too, but then kind of I feel like social media is the place where we actually at that point need to flood the zone with our messaging of Epstein files, of corruption, of all of this stuff that Israel, of all of these things that they're failing us in as a government, all the waste, fraud, and abuse, that we would flood social media with that messaging at that point. And I feel like we could have some sort of memes and graphics to share, but I really feel like we need to remind them who's in charge, because right now, because of how it's been, and they've been operating in the dark, and they've been operating in secrets and in lies that that most of us have wanted to believe in them and trust in them, so we choose that. But we can take it back and we can remind them who we are, and we're America, and we're the people. And we have the power, and you work for us. So anyways, I would love that to happen. I'm trying to push that. I had made a post on Instagram and on YouTube, if you all feel, and on TikTok, I think. So if you all are on those social, and on X, if you're on those platforms, if you want to go back and find it, I think we should push it. I really do. I really do. Lots of people have decided to change their W-4s and not pay taxes at all. And I think this is just another area where we can band together in solidarity and get some change made, and to have our voices be heard, and to let them know we still know who we are. And you've got to remember your place. We're your boss. So, anyways, I hope y'all heard that, because I was told it was on mute. Maybe it was just our system here. But I appreciate you being here today and hopping on with me as we just kind of flew by the seat of our pants. TikTok is run, yes, Palantir is run by TikTok. All of it is. You know, they have been, they were blocking me. There was a person turning in my videos for a long time. But they haven't been blocking my stuff as much as they were. So anyway, all right. Well, that's what I've got for you today. I'm putting together and still working on getting some other things for you guys. And we'll meet back here tomorrow, and well, maybe tomorrow. Okay. I'll figure, like, Candace isn't supposed to be on tomorrow, so maybe I'm hoping I'll have enough time to put all my stuff together, and probably let's just plan on it, and if I don't, then don't be mad at me. I'm still recuperating and all of that too. So anyway, I appreciate you being here. Please like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, all of that good stuff on all the socials. On X, it's Teresa Better LIF. There's no E at the end because they don't let you have that many characters. So anyways, let's all do this together, okay? And I'll see you later, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
This is a better life. From scars to stars, from pain to bulletproof. Teresa, better life. A better life with you. Talking news, pop culture life, love and scandal, heart to heart. Teresa, better life. Real is where the reset starts. No playing small. We rise, we fall. We laugh, we do it all. A better life is one brave call. Teresa, better life. Let's build a better life. Let's build a better life. A better life. Teresa, better life.